podcast. It's just going to be a brief one. I thought it was appropriate this time of night. This is for anybody in the battle, the struggle of addiction. Anybody who feels like they've recently come out of it. Anybody that wants a space where the people that understand know the bad. They know some of the crazy times. You can appreciate a little bit of the fun they had. But no, it's remember the bad times, the stress, the pain that caused. What it did to those around us. But there's always too much of an emphasis even, on the bad, on the dark, on the grind, on all the things that just generally bring us down in life. When, let's face it, we're probably in a pretty shitty place already. I hope anyone that hears this has got some distance from the worst of it, has found some methods, some sort of community or love around them that's helped to bring them up a little bit. Because it's pretty hard doing it by yourself. But if you are in a position where you are pretty much alone in it, try and think of the benefits. It's undoubtedly better to have either family, friends, partner that is rooting for you, trying to help you. But it's also kind of a burden. You worry about disappointing people, letting them down, the stress, the judgment. And in normal times in life, that's always going to be a benefit. Because you won't be seeing the stress and judgment because you're going to be doing mostly the right things. But when you're not at your best, and you're trying to get out of something, those other people can make it feel a little bit harder. Blade cuts a little bit sharper. But it's not about other people. At least it shouldn't be your main focus. You have to live for you. And the benefit comes to those around you from the improvement they're going to see in you. The improvement in your actions. The improvement of your treatment of them. I don't want you to just be down and hard on yourselves all the time. There is some room for critiquing yourself, being honest, depending where you are in your addiction. Of course, some people's actions can have more consequences, cause more pain to those around them. Some people can skate by a little bit, remove themselves from it before it gets too dark or before there's been too much loss. But you must do that thing that at times seems impossible. To leave a lot of the worst stuff in the past where it belongs, in the past. Improvement is always possible. The fact that tomorrow could be way better than yesterday. It's not just hopeful gimmick and lovey-dovey pseudoscience. If you actually gear it up with that intention, it's very possible. And let's face it, it's more likely. The more positive you feel about yourself, about your life and tomorrow, the more likely you're going to act in a positive way. I think that's just common sense. But I know easier said than done. I don't know you guys, if it's alcohol, that's what I know. If it's drugs. But addiction really is that thing that takes a hold of you. even when you know it's going to do you harm and it's bad, there's that certain level of routine, that certain level of escape, that certain level of, man, I don't belong here no more. I need to go to that other place, feel that other way. I think in that sense, addiction is kind of universal. It's easy to start getting defensive when you're in addiction. So and so did this to me. My life is this way. And we look for excuses. And sometimes you have to make decisions if some of the people around you or your current situation is part of the reason. Often it is. Some people think there's a genetic component to it. I'm not sure, maybe. Perhaps there's something early on in life where we find something, where it's that drink we pick up, that pill we take, that powder we snort, that needle we pick up. Goodness gracious, people, if you're picking up the needle, please put the needle down. Alcohol is what I know, like I said. I'd love for people to share. If there's anybody here that is currently been sober for a bit, please pop it a message so you can get your props. If you're in the struggle and you've had a shitty day, please put a message in. Let me pick you up and tell you why you're probably being a little harder on yourself than you should be. We all hear these amazing stories of, whoa, life was so bad, I was an addict, I didn't look after myself, I basically became homeless, and now I'm making loads of dough and got a hot piece of housewife who I love, got kids, respected in my community, and that is wicked. But while you're still in the mix of addiction, or you're just starting to create distance from the real corrosive, hurtful part, the destructive part, and the more positive future you can possibly have, it's hard to see sometimes. But one thing I think we've all discovered in life is that things really can change very quickly. The idea of momentum, it's a real practical thing. Maya Malik, hi. I hope you had a decent day. I hope there wasn't too much stress and those around you were cool and did not act like douchebags. And of course, I hope you were not a douchebag. Are you in addiction? Are you currently sober? Are you just trying to deal with the mix? Let me know. But back to the concept of momentum. It's cool because it's practical. I believe in God, but I don't go to church. I'm always trying to keep more of an open mind for people that are religious to hear how they practice it, how they show their faith internally, at least. But momentum is practical, something, even though some days it's hard and you're not going to be able to always have that attitude that you're going to roll in with momentum to tomorrow. It is something you can keep in mind. And there's small things you could do. I think one of the most effective tools they found with addiction, which I know if you're in it, it's hard, is exercise. Physical exertion. Whether it's lifting weights heavy, running is great, because there's something about a challenge continuously. You're pushing yourself, you're tired. You'd rather stop, but keep going. And it's free. But even at home, popping out a bunch of push-ups and sit-ups and doing a bit of shadow boxing for your sparring if you're locked down, dude, if you're man, I've hit the bottle hard, or whatever it is that you're addicted to, you can still do something at home to get the heart rate running, a bit of resistance, even your own body weight. I think that's universally proven to lift moods and to release all the good chemicals in the brain to perhaps give you just a little minute or two where you're removed from that addiction. And you always give yourself a little, yes, son, give yourself some props for doing something which is difficult and completing it. And you don't have to go crazy with it, obviously. But just anything. If it's more than you were doing last week, you do it 2 or 3 days the next week even, brilliant. One thing I've always found helpful with running is, again, as I said, I must have been Russian in in the past life, because I love me some vodka. I was always rushing to that bottle. You can't run if you've got a belly full of vodka. It's impossible. Unless you want to have to stop halfway through by a bush and throw up, which, let's face it, not a good look in public. Kind of disgusting. Close to physically impossible. So yes, we've got the fitness aspect. What next? I'm a big fan of podcasts, and it is cool when you hear interesting, intelligent people discussing a topic, not necessarily about addiction. You don't want to be in it 24/7. It could be about politics. It could be something trivial, cultural. Could be something nostalgic. Oh shit, that rapper's going back out on tour. I remember him from 2004. Sweet. That's good. But I think there's something more beneficial to actually reading a book. And I'm guilty of this, but I think we're living life with the headphones on a bit too much. And there's this strange phenomenon I've realized recently. When you are out in public, just living life, when you live it with headphones in all the time, it's kind of like the world that you perceive through your eyes had this modern, I was going to say glaze, pause, but a modern veneer, a sheen. And when you take the headphones out and you hear the sounds of the street, you look at people, they seem a bit more vivid. I think there's something to be said from taking the headphones off now and again in public and while you're at home. For me personally, that's very tough, but I think there's something there. So, I'll keep it fairly brief, but what are you going to do tomorrow? What would be a fun thing to do tomorrow and doesn't cost money? Won't interfere with anything else you've got to do. And what will be a slightly challenging thing? Probably best to include physical aspect in that exertion. Like I said, or pick up a book. If there's anything you've ever had a propensity towards, or even a slight bit of skill, it could be art, pen and pad, and do some doodling. It could be music, pick an instrument up and jam out a little bit. Those things are kind of solo pursuits, though. Solo time is good. Isolation is not always the best, though. If you find yourself in a spot where your addiction is making you spend too much time alone, too focused on just keeping that feeling which locks out the rest of the outside world, of course, I don't have to tell you, it's not the healthiest attitude. anything you could do to feel more part of a community, I'd recommend. And this is someone that's made the mistake of not doing that in the past. If someone's talking to you in earnest, with experience, I think one of the best things they can do is be honest about previous mistakes. Because simply there's nothing for me to gain from it. Other than hopefully, even if it's for a slight moment, you're helpful to somebody else. No one has all the answers though. But being honest with yourself and others, especially those that might benefit from your words, that's a pretty good place to start. I hope you're finding this helpful. I hope you subscribe to the channel. I want to do more of these. I think because I've left a little bit of distance from my alcoholism. It has been brief though, I'm not over the struggle yet. I've just managed to get that feeling away of when I can. I don't indulge now. But it's a fairly recent thing after a long run of killing a liter of vodka a day. I only wish to be helpful. Low-key Dwyer. Hello, Loki. I hope you've had a nice day. I hope nobody stressed you out too much. And I hope you were pleasant to those that came across you. First view and like. Oh, thank you, Loki. Please subscribe to the channel as well when you have the chance. I'm doing a mashup of things recently. As I was explaining, I do want to come back to this idea of talking about addiction and trying to speak positively in a way where I don't want people just to feel down all the time and hard on themselves. We get enough of that in real life. But we must be honest. Loki, my day was fine, thank you. How was yours? Thank you. How was your day though, man? Madam or sir? Was it a good day? Did you manage to stay away from too much excess? And were you as pleasant as you possibly could be to those around you? Excellent. That's what I like to hear. I hope nobody was an asshole to you as well. That's the thing we don't have any control over. There are a lot of a-holes in the world. But some pretty damn good people too. There was one. No, there's always one, man. Was it words? Your girlfriend. She broke up. No. Loki. I'm sorry, my brother. So you've had a tough day. Was it something you saw coming? Or did it feel like it came out of the blue? I don't know which one is worse, actually. Sometimes if it's been a slow build-up, it can actually be worse. But then out of the blue, the surprise aspect of it. Damn, brother. Well, I admire your positive attitude anyway, saying that you had a decent day. Girlfriend breaking up with you didn't hurt you too much, so I'm assuming it was a short, brief relationship. Or a relationship that you're at least partly kind of relieved to be out of. This is my assumption, Loki. And my hope as well, obviously. It'd be less of a bummer for you if that's the case. But still, make sure you're not using this as an excuse to do anything stupid or to indulge in your addiction, though. Remember, that will only give her more power, and you'll feel shittier afterwards. Yes, you're right about the second one. What does that mean? Second one. Oh. Slightly relieved that it's actually over anyway. Okay. Well, you seem like you're being a soldier about it. I hope you didn't get pissy or childish and you just let it happen. But clearly, it wasn't in your mind, it was the love of your life or anything. So, I'm very happy about that. And again, if you are in the throes of addiction, like I said, it doesn't seem like you're taking it too hard. So, do not use this as an excuse. Do not say, oh, I've had a bad day and I'm going to drink a bottle of vodka or do the drug of my choice. Remember, that only gives her more power, you less power, and you'll end up feeling more of a punk about it. So even if you have done something already, let's stop it right there. Switch to a nice coffee, or at this time of night, being England and all, maybe a cup of tea. Loki, I've recently started drinking tea again. Okay, I did, but me and her boyfriend, and I had a fight. I tried to walk away, but he punched me. I had to fight back, and I won at least, but I didn't want to fight at all. Well, first of all, I hope nobody was hurt. That dude is okay. I'm not sure why you ended up in a fight with him. Did that lead to the breakup, the fight? Or was this, she broke up with you and then the boyfriend tried to fight you? You won at least. I can't condone these actions, but you're on my channel and you sub, so I have to kind of be on your side. I'm kind of built that way, ride or die. I'm glad you're okay. Another positive thing about addiction, well, not positive, but thing to remember that makes things escalate more is just a general sense of bad vibes, bitterness, animosity between people. We want to try and keep the peace vibes as high as possible, and the beef and the crosswords and the negativity as low as possible. And that's a good rule for life in general, I think, but particularly when you're fighting other demons as well. But as a person that has done some boxing training and stuff, respect, Loki. I'm pretty sure that you won. And you said you tried to walk away and you're protecting yourself. So, like I said, I'll ride with you. Unless we get a few more people on, I'll keep it brief. And hope my words were honest, but not too much of a downer. If you listen from the beginning, perhaps you took something out of it. Something positive it is, at least. And I hope everybody, depending on where you are in the world, has a good day, has a good night, has a good afternoon. Without checking my world clock, I'm assuming that could be the case for someone. Anyway, still listening, I'm going to try something new on the live thing. But I'm not going to leave addiction on the back burner anymore, because I've been doing random silly little videos. I think it is important to still address what I know. And though I don't feel like I've made a full rebound from it yet, what I can share a little bit of advice here and there for some of the improvements that I've seen. Like I said, I'm nowhere near there yet, but I'm starting to create distance from that feeling of addiction, being taken by it, and feeling yourself falling lower. But like I said, I can drop a few pearls of wisdom here and there, what I found helpful. And even if it's not, I would generally just try to be positive. So this is definitely a subject I'm going to keep coming back to. It'll probably play a bigger part of the channel going forward. But I'm going to try a new experiment. After we conclude this live, I think I'm going to pick a book and just read it. I've been told I've got a voice for radio, and also a face for radio. I don't think the second one was a compliment. But I reckon if you're like me, you like falling asleep to a podcast or book on tape. So I will go live, and I reckon I'll read Gary Stevenson's Trading Game. Yep, quite a few pages. We'll see if anybody joins for that one. If you've been listening, please subscribe so you can be notified about future lives. And I think I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to read Trading Game by Gary Stevenson live. So if you hook up to the channel, you can fall asleep to it. You've got the setting on your YouTube. You can just sit back, close your eyes, and fall asleep to the dulcet tones. And it's a good book, actually. You've probably seen Gary Stevenson on all the political shows and broadcasts recently, talking about a redistribution of wealth in England to stop a working class falling deeper into poverty. So please subscribe. And then you'll get the alert of when I start reading the book. And like I said, act like Baloo from the Jungle Book. It's all peace, it's all good. No worries. God bless. Lord Finesse.